Post the neoliberalization and the collapse of the Soviet Union, the World Bank, the IMF, and the WTO, in unison, have been opening up the third world countries for the multinational corporations. In India, after the structural adjustment loan conditionalities were accepted, every single legislation, economic legislation, be it Banking Act, Insurance Act, Electricity Act, Telegraph Act, Civil Aviation Act, Patent Law, whatever it may be, every single economic legislation has been changed in order to create marketable conditions and in order to enable multinational corporations to enter into the economy. In the case of electricity industry, the Electricity Act of 2003 was not drafted in India. It was drafted by World Bank or IMF and it was pushed through the legislative processes, as a result of which the entire structure of the electrical supply industry that was there for the last 60 years, that had shown progress and development of the power industry, was overthrown and replaced with a system that was unfamiliar to the country, that was a learning process, and its whole purpose was to marketize the power system and to encourage multinational corporations. As a result of it, in the present today, we find that the entire generation, if we include the renewable energy, has been privatized, and more of it is going to be privatized. The present attempt is to privatize the entire distribution system. Distribution system by the Constitution of India is a federal subject where the states are the service provider and the center is the guide or philosopher or enabler. Instead of that, the central government is trying to bring legislation and trying to force the state governments to privatize the distribution system. They have now come up with standard bidding document so that all the state governments are forced to privatize their distribution system. Before bringing up this, there has been no discussion with any of the stakeholders. There has been no analysis of why Odisha privatization failed, why the franchisee of several cities in this country failed, why regulators had to restore back to the electricity boards the franchisees that had failed. There is no analysis whatsoever of what will be the consequences of forcing the farmers to pay the cost to serve. What will be the consequences on food security in a nation where there is billion plus human beings? There is no analysis whatsoever of what will be the consequences on the other consumers. There is also no safeguard on how to protect public interest that has been built over the last 60 years. What is visible is that there is just a bulldozing and a forcing of the system to change and to sell out to multinational corporations. How accountable they will be is a question mark. Further, if the multinationals take over the basic infrastructure of this country, be it telecommunication or civil aviation or power, etc., what will be left of the freedom, political freedom of this country is a question that is bothering all of us. And what was the whole purpose of our fighting for freedom if the entire economic independence is to be jeopardized? Thank you.